Hey y'all, I'm Ebony Capri.
What's up, everybody? This is J.R. Simon.
What's up? My name is Marvelous Marissa.
What's up? This is Antonio Neal, and this is Let's Take a Walk.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a blessed week so far. We got a special day. I know we usually do Fridays, but we're doing Saturday today. So, my show, I can do it, whatever. But anyway, I hope everybody had an awesome week. As I did, kind of hectic, but here we are. We made it. All right, celebration. Today we're gonna have an awesome guest on. Her name is Marvelous Marissa. She is a radio host. She is a motivational speaker. She's an MC. She does everything. She's a host. She does you name it. She does it. A regular jack of all trades. But I'm not gonna steal her thunder. I'm just gonna bring her on right now, Miss Marvelous Marissa.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, thank you for having me on.
No problem. Um, really?
You got some company back there?
Yeah. My executive producer. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, I thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
We had to kind of adjust the schedule a little bit, but it is what it is, and so we're here now.
We're here.
As I told the folks out there, I don't want to steal your thunder, so I'm going to give you a little chance, another chance to kind of reintroduce yourself and give a little background on everything that you have going on. You have the floor.
Okay, well, thank you for having me, Mike. I appreciate this. It's definitely an honor. I am Marvelous Marissa Daniel. Basically, I have a television talk show here in Atlanta called Broken into Beautiful. I've been hosting this show since 2017. God gave me the vision. I wrote it and it manifested. And it aired on 2 networks here in Atlanta, WATC and People TV. And starting next month, I'm going to be on another network on AIB. So I'm excited about that. Basically, Broken into Beautiful, I interview people who were once broken and they share how God blossomed them to being beautiful. Since God gave me this platform, it had opened up so many doors, so many opportunities for me to be a radio host on IBNX Radio Network. I hosted a gospel radio show called The Praising You in 2019, and it was voted one of the top radio stations in the company. So that really, because I was nervous about that because you had all these hip hop shows, these reggae shows, and I was nervous because the gospel industry don't really get a lot of recognition. So I was happy that the show was in the top 5. Not to mention, since I started that radio show, God had opened up several doors for me to be a hostess and MC for the Lupus Gala. Here in Atlanta, the Pinnacle Awards, the I Will Survive Incorporated, so many hosting and speaking engagements. It just opened up so many doors. That's why people have to be obedient. When God tell you to do something, do it, because you would definitely see good results.
Absolutely.
Not to mention, amen. Not to mention during the pandemic, which we are still in the pandemic. But last year, I got laid off from my job. And in the meantime, during the pandemic, when I was laid off, God set me down to write my book that has now went national. So, and the book is called From Brokenness to Marvelous. It sold out yesterday at Walmart online. So that's just really something.
Wow.
Website, it's on Amazon, it's in stores, bookstores, and libraries. So, God has definitely blessed me. He has brought me a long way because I myself have experienced some brokenness. But he definitely blossomed me to be marvelous. So I'm really happy about that. I've been here in Atlanta for 13 years. And in these 13 years, I have seen manifestation. So to God be the glory. I'm about to start shouting on your show, Mike. I'm about to start shouting.
free. Feel free. So, was this something that you've always wanted to do, or was there a series of things that happened that brought you to this point, or what happened?
Yes. Yes. I moved to Atlanta at the age of 19 by myself. I got accepted into Clark Atlanta University and I went to school for mass media. Throughout my matriculation at Clark Atlanta, it was definitely a struggle for me, but it was through the grace of God that I graduated. While I was at Clark Atlanta, I had interned at several news stations and I even had my own television show on campus. So when I
Hmm.
graduated, I thought that it wasn't going to be a problem for me to get a job in media. But then I faced so I
Hmm.
I didn't get the job that I wanted or that I thought or that I qualified for. A lot of doors were closed in my face. People told me that they didn't like the way that I talk or my weight
Wow.
was also an issue for the media industry at the time. So it
Hmm.
really broke me down into a depression. But it
Hmm.
was prayer that really helped me to get to this point. God wanted me to step out on faith. So I graduated in 2012. I didn't get my first television show until 5 years later in 2017. So it was nothing but the grace of God that brought me this far.
You brought up a good point, and I was going to ask you about this at some point in the interview. But versus back then to now, um, how important is image? Is that is that even a thing anymore? Like, how important is image
Mm.
in your industry compared to
Well,
what it was?
right now, I don't believe it's important at all. It seemed like back then when I graduated, that was what, 9 years ago. It seemed
Mhm.
like it was important because the slimmer girls got hired or the white girls got the jobs and I put in so
Wow.
much effort and I proved myself. I worked hard and I didn't get it. And it just that really it damaged my self-esteem.
Hmm.
Um, it made me depressed, and that's when you start beating yourself up, looking at yourself. But you have to test intelligence are fearfully and wonderfully made. And God thoughts about you are priceless. Now, 9 years ago, 9 years later, girl who was rejected, told that I needed to lose weight, and now I'm on Billboard.
Wow.
My face, my is so that does not matter anymore. There are beautiful plus size women on television. We see it every day. News anchors, reporters, the girl on E News. That does not matter. You need to know who you are. You need to love yourself and put yourself out there. Don't care what nobody say. Because I was told that I wasn't pretty, or I was too thick. That was an issue, but it's not an issue anymore.
Wow. Yeah, I was thinking about that last night. I mean, even with like music artists and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Back in the day, it was very
Yeah,
cookie cutter, I
yeah,
guess you could
critical.
say.
Hmm.
That you
Yeah.
look a certain way. Um,
Hmm.
Skin color kind of came into the to the issue. Um, like you said, body tone came into the issue. But now it
Hmm.
seems like the talent, the actual giftings and the talents are beginning to shine through. What do
That's
you
true.
think? What do you attribute that to? What do you think the change was?
Honestly, for me, I think that change came from within me. I did
Hmm.
not allow my weight, my skin color, my hair. I didn't allow that to stop me. I remember when I was hosting Atlanta Live on
Hmm.
television here in Atlanta. That was in 2018. And one of my family members called me the next day and told me that I needed to lose weight. I looked too big on TV, or I looked big sitting next to my Pearson. And I did not those were the lies of the enemy to stop me to getting to where I am now. So it starts with you. It starts with you. If God puts something in your heart for you to do, you must do it. Don't wait. Don't look at your color. Don't look at your skin complexion. No, Black women are winning today. We are winning. We have a Black woman that's vice president in the White House. We are. I'm not gonna let my weight stop me from doing what I want to do. I'm not. Back then it was a problem, but when I told myself, Melissa, you're beautiful, this is something I desire to do. It starts with you. It starts with you. And when you do it, other people would accept it.
Absolutely.
They have no choice.
Right. Your voice is starting to break up a little bit again.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Sorry.
So tell me, who are some of your influences?
Oh, of course, I look up to Oprah Winfrey.
Hmm.
Of
Hmm.
course, Oprah. I would love to interview her one day. I do believe that's gonna happen. But my mom has definitely been my backbone since she moved down here to Atlanta with me. So I thank God for that. But I would definitely say, my mother has been a big help to me. I have a lot of mentors, especially women in the industry, that has helped me. I thank God that He connected me with Monica Pearson, who's done a lot with her career here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I can definitely say my mother has been my backbone and all three of those amazing women.
Wow. Um, so, what do you do now? Do you have a team, or are you just basically like a one man machine, one woman machine? I mean, is there a team behind Marvelous Marissa?
Well, it's my mother definitely helps me out with selling my
Hmm.
books and everything. I do have a publisher that helps with that as well. My book just went national. So, of course, I'm with a major company called Ingram.
Hmm.
And I think I'm probably like a one woman band. I get the phone
Hmm.
calls and the emails to host and stuff. I start back Broken Into Beautiful next month. So
Hmm.
I think I'm a one woman band, but I do think pretty soon I will have a team of people.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So let's
Mhm.
so let's talk about the book. What do- what do you want people to go away from once they read the book? What do you want? What type of um, viewpoint do you want people to have once they read your book? Like what do you want people to take away from it? What was your goal
Yes.
when you were writing
Well,
it?
yes, the book is called From Brokenness to Marvelous, and I really wanted people to get to know me and my testimony. I hear a lot of women as well as men testimonies on my show, how God blossomed them from being broken into beautiful. And
Hmm.
honestly, I wanted to really help a lot of younger women who've
Hmm.
experienced bullying, rejection, date rape situations, being
Hmm.
raped, women who face um, abortion, low self esteem. I really wanted to touch those young girls and to let them know that their lives is not over. I myself experienced suicidal thoughts when I was a teenager, wanting to take my life. And I thank God that He blocked the hand of the enemy. I wanted people to walk away knowing that you went through this, people talking about you, putting you down, hurting you, but don't let that stop you. You continue to move forward and walk in your purpose. And I'm blessed that a lot of young girls have reached out to me, girls in college, women in their younger 20s, even in their 30s and 40s have reached out to me and said, Marissa, thank you for writing this book. You wrote this book for me. So I
Wow.
really wanted people to let people know that you may be broken, but you won't be broken for long. God is the only one that can heal your broken heart and that can help you to walk in your purpose. If He did it for me, He can do it for you.
So as a man, right? What can I learn
Hmm.
from you? What can I learn from you?
As a man, because I've had a few gentlemen that read my book. A lot of them were shocked that I went through some of those scenarios that I talk about in my book. But as a man, I really want the men to really hear from a woman's point of view when they go
Hmm.
through trying times in their life. And basically, I guess I really want men to really respect women more and to cherish women and to respect the hustle that women go through, especially
Hmm.
single women, to respect the hustle, honor our queens and to stop degrading women.
Okay. So what makes you think that that men don't respect the grind of women? What would
Well,
give you the
I'm not saying that men don't respect it, but really, I just say some of the gentlemen that I've encountered with didn't really
hmm
fully respect me. So I just, as a man, I think that if a man read this book, because a judge read this book, and
hmm
when he put my book down, he ran and hugged his daughter.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So up to this point, um the type of feedback that you're getting has been favorable, to say the least. So
Yes.
ultimately, is what's the goal? Is there will there be a part two or part three?
Yeah.
Will it be
Yeah.
more? Will this become
Hmm.
a series? What is your ultimate goal? Do you want to turn it into, for instance, a maybe a seminar or a workshop or something of that nature? Like, what's the ultimate goal, or is it
Well,
just the writing?
definitely in the next year or two, I will be publishing a part two.
Okay,
A
okay,
part two. And I mean, my long-term goal is to turn into a movie.
wow, okay. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
you can do anything, especially
Thank you.
nowadays. You can
Yes.
do you can do you can do anything. What's harder, writing a book or doing a radio show? And I'm talking, and when I say doing a radio show, I'm not just talking about the finished product when you're sitting in front of camera. I'm talking about the whole process. Which process is more involved and more challenging? Is it the radio process or the book writing process?
The book, I would say for me, the book writing process.
How
Hmm.
so? How so?
I I would say that because when I was writing my book, I was often afraid of the backlash that I was going to receive.
Hmm.
The backlash from family, from friends, even people from my past, even the school that I attended. I thought that I was going to get some backlash. So it was more personal for me.
Hmm.
So I would say with the radio broadcast, that was actually pretty fun. But I think the book was more challenging for me to let go because writing is healing. In the midst of
Hmm.
me writing my book, I was crying. Tears
Wow.
was coming out. I felt like a burden was lifted off of me, Mike, to be honest, like a big burden from the year 2010, 2014, going back to, it's like your mind is going back to when you was almost raped, to when you
Hmm.
was bullied and picked on, to when, all of those traumatic moments, your mind is going back to that. So it was like I was crying. It's like I was going through a healing process last year. All that was coming out of me. And now to see that it has blessed a lot of people is rewarding. So I think the publishing, writing the book, that was more challenging because you got to bring up these moments of when you was hurt, when you was broken, when you was in that clinic. You got your mind is going back to those moments. So
Hmm.
that was, I think the writing publishing was much more challenging, but now I feel free. I feel free.
Okay. And that was going to be my next question. Like, how do you feel like you've changed, or what influence has this process been for you on the other side? Like, are you find yourself, like you said, you find yourself being more free and
Mhm.
lighter. Has it influenced how you do business going forward? How you know just go about your life going
Mhm.
forward? Does it has it bled into your profession? The hosting and the radio stuff and everything. Has it bled into that? Has it affected how
Mhm.
you do that? How so? If it
Yes.
has, how so?
Yes, it definitely has helped me as far as business. Now I have a product. Not only do I have a show, but I have my book.
Hmm.
It has helped me. I've been much happier since I published this book. God
Hmm.
has removed a lot of people out of my life. Even when and it's amazing to me that some of the people in the book who I spoke highly of, they changed on me, Mike, when I published the
Hmm.
book. So
Wow.
it just when you publish your story, you're gonna see. God is gonna open up your eyes to the people that you were once close to, people who you were once connected with. You know, you're gonna probably gonna receive some backlash, but you gotta keep going. And then you're an
Hmm.
author now. So your book is gonna be in stores. It's gonna be, you gotta still market and advertise yourself, put yourself out there, even if you do have an agent, they got other clients. So it
Hmm.
taught me to market myself, to put myself out there. People said things about me, Mike, especially last year,
Hmm.
but you got to keep going. It really has helped me in my personal life and business wise. And then you reap the benefits too. You reap the benefits. Sometimes you're going to have good book sales. One a month, you may not have it, but you got to keep going. If this is your
Right.
story, if this is your baby, you got to keep going. So it has taught me a lot. I'm really glad that I was obedient when God set me down and told me to
Mhm.
publish the book.
Wow. So you went through a number of different things, even
Mhm.
exposure. Like it helps you to expose the people who may not have had your best interest at heart, or
Yeah.
maybe had wronged you in the past or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Going forward, let's go to the radio portion, the radio show.
Mhm.
Um, I'm sure that you've had many interesting interactions, to say the least. Can you tell us about one that kind of stands out in your mind that's very memorable to you?
Yes, I had the gospel radio show a couple years ago, the Praising You, and that was a
Hmm.
success. That was a great experience for me. It was one of the top shows on the network. Now,
Hmm.
Broken into Beautiful, I'm gonna start that back up next month. I already got a line full of people to interview this year. All of the guests were good. It seemed like each guest, the show got better, 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 and better. It just kept
Hmm.
elevating. Um, I loved all of the guests. They all brought
Hmm.
something to the table. I can honestly say, I enjoyed interviewing my mother. I got to know
Wow.
a lot
Okay.
about my mom. She was my first guest. I've had Monica Pearson. I've had Kiana Dancy from Sister Circle. She's a comedian, so she made the show funny.
Yeah.
She took her pain and made it humorous. She can
Right.
laugh at it
Wow.
now. I had another lady, Miss Danielle Williams McCord. She really talked about how God delivered her from porn and put her
Mm.
in the pulpit. So that
Mm.
was a great show. I loved them all. I had one of my favorite guests was Nora Jones. She talked about how God delivered her from domestic violence. She also shared how one of her children was molested and how she was going to go kill the person who molested her child. But God
Mhm.
stopped her from doing that. So each show just got better and better and better. And I'm excited for all of the guests this year. My first guest is going to talk about how, when people get divorced, they say divorce is like death. But she's going
Wow.
to talk about how God, how God opened up another life for her after divorce, how there is life after divorce. I'm going to have
Hmm.
somebody else talk about how God delivered her from homelessness. And now she's the mother of the year in the state of Georgia. She got her
Mm.
PhD. So this show is definitely, it's elevated, it's going higher. And I can't wait till it gets on a major network. But I'm grateful for where I am today.
Wow. So
Mhm.
so the show that you're currently doing right now, is it aimed towards the religious community, or are you like trying to, or are you doing it, kind of like an open guest pool of, I guess what I'm asking is, what's the mission, overall mission of the show,
Mhm. Well,
or who are you aiming
honestly,
towards? Hmm.
the world, I do believe that we are living in the last days.
Hmm.
And, there's so much that's going on in the world, with the whole COVID-19 last year, the police brutality, it's getting worse and worse. And
Hmm.
this show is not about making Marvelous Marissa famous at all. This
Hmm.
show is basically to touch people's hearts, to let people know, even people who don't believe in God, to
Hmm.
let people know that one, that's in the word, we overcome by our testimony.
Right.
Now that's in the word. And
Hmm.
two, I just want people to see how God can deliver you from brokenness.
Right.
Even if you don't believe in God, you're gonna face some heartache. You're gonna go through some pain. You're gonna face
Hmm.
some trials. But God is the only one that can deliver you and set you free from that. If He can do it for my sister who was once homeless, for my
Hmm.
sister who was raped, for my sister who was molested, my brother, men got testimonies too. They may not be outspoken like women are, but men have it too. I just want people to see all across the nation that God is the only one that can deliver you from brokenness. So
Right.
yes, it's aimed to the religious community, but it's also aimed to that sister who's lost, to
Hmm.
that brother who's broken. It's aimed to everyone because we all can learn. And if we can see if God can do it for this one, He can do it for me. I'm no different.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. you you made me lose my train of thought.
Ah, oh, you having fun on this show.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Um, being a how important do you do you do you think about the fact that you're a woman of color, and how important is it that you're a woman of color doing what you're doing right now, all the things that you are involved in right now that you're doing, that is making progress, that is impactful, that is influencing others, and break causing breakthrough. How do you ever think to yourself that, I'm a woman of color doing this? How important is it? How important is the fact that you're a woman of color doing this? How important is that for you?
Oh, Mike, you about to make me cry. You about to make me cry. Um, I know both of my grandmothers who passed away. I know that they both will be very proud of me.
Mhm.
It's truly an honor because there was one time when I sat in my walk-in closet crying my heart out in the year 2012. I didn't think that I was
Mhm.
going to accomplish my dreams or get to this point. Um,
Mhm.
it's truly an honor and it's a blessing. And I know that it's only God that brought me this far.
Mhm.
I'm sorry to cry on your show, Mike, but I just know that when I
No,
look
take it.
back,
Hey, listen, you're free. You're free.
yes,
You're freezing up now. Your screen's freezing.
I'm sorry. I know that, it's truly an honor and it's a blessing that God brought me this far because it was a point that I didn't think that I was going to accomplish my dreams. I did it. I did both my grandmothers, my grandfathers, people who have passed on, even my ancestors, my family who were enslaved. I know that they will be very proud of me to see me get this far. So it's truly a blessing and it's an honor. And God is the only one that gets all the glory because I remember, Mike, when I sat in my closet crying, I remember when I was sleeping with a knife underneath my mattress when I was younger. I remember those moments. And to see where I am today, I know that it's by the grace of God. So I thank God. I thank God. It's truly an honor. And I'm blessed that God has blessed me with so many opportunities and to bring me this far to have a television show. I was once in speech class when I was a little girl. My speech teacher told my mom
Mhm.
that I wasn't going to be a public speaker. He was nervous by the way that I talk. But see, that's what men say. What did God say? And God brought me this far. So it's truly an honor. And I encourage all the little black little girls out there, even, don't let nobody tell you what you can or cannot do. We have a black woman that's vice president. You know, so many black people are doing great things. We every day on TV. I
Mhm.
see it. So it's truly an honor and a blessing to be where I am today. I am so happy. I've never been this happy before. So I thank God for
That's awesome. You're still kind of freezing up a little bit, but we're gonna push. We're
that.
gonna. It's okay. We're gonna push through it. I'm sure people are still being blessed by your testimony and everything that you have to say. Um, going through in in Atlanta of all places. Um, does that present does that present its own set of challenges? Just being in Atlanta, and if so, what are they? I mean, are they? Do you think it presents um a special amount of challenges, or do you think that no matter where you went, you know what I mean, there would
Mhm.
be a certain level of challenge? But what's it like being in that Atlanta scene? Because that seems to be like the Black Hollywood nowadays.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, because and here in Atlanta, everybody is an entrepreneur. Everybody got their own thing going. You're surrounded by other authors, other people who have their own TV hosting and stuff. It's everybody got their own thing going on. But I just I just encourage people to not let that distract you because that can be a challenge. It can be a challenge, but you must walk in your lane and be yourself and don't change for nobody. That it can be quite challenging because Atlanta is kind of like Black Hollywood, but you got to be yourself. Be yourself, stay in your lane, and you will stand out. You will shine. I never thought that I was going to have a billboard on a major highway in Atlanta. So that
Hmm.
shocked the heck out of me. So I'm not gonna be like anybody else
Wow.
because I'm surrounded by other people who wants that mic. Other people who have their
Mm.
own podcasts, that have their own shows, they're publishing their books and stuff. You're surrounded by that, but don't let that intimidate you. I used to compare myself to people, but I don't do that anymore.
Hmm.
And I thank God that I don't.
Absolutely.
I thank God that I don't. So I'm myself, you either love me or you hate me. And if you got a problem with it, take it up with God. But I'm myself. And by me being myself, it has opened up a lot of doors for me.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is that is super awesome. I know that like doing this podcast, this was something that was kind of birthed out of the pandemic. I mean, I always wanted to do something like this because I like people watching interviews, Breakfast Club, that sort of thing. Um, but they never seemed to ask the questions that I wanted to know. So like, but I I never felt confident enough to do it. But in the pandemic, I realized that not to take anything for granted and to just walk in whatever vision that God has given you or whatever. And
Mhm.
so to hear you say all of these things, that you're expressing today, you're kind of speaking my heart in a lot of ways.
Great. That's
Know that
awesome.
I know I know that if it's touching me, I know it's touching people out there as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we talked about we're another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I'm here with Marvelous Marissa, and we've talked about her book. We've talked about the entertainment portion of what she does, the TV hosting, the radio hosting, the emceeing, and all of that. Um, and you pretty much probably answered the question a few times, but at this point in your career, what's the name of the game for you? Like, if you could if you had to put your career in one word, what would be the name of the game for you at this point?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Uh-oh, you're frozen. Hold on.
Can you see me? Okay, that's a good question. Can you
Yeah, I
hear
can
me?
see you better now. Okay.
Okay, that's a good
Yes.
question. Honestly, at this point, I would have to
Oh,
say,
this shows
you
up
said
here.
one word.
Mm-hmm.
Um, elevation. Elevation at this
Mm,
point. Elevation. Continue to elevate. I want to continue to elevate and go higher and higher and higher.
mm,
Elevation at this point.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, what's a common misconception about you? What have you found to be a common misconception about you?
Well, I was told that I think that people think that I'm into myself. That I'm into myself.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've got that since I was a little girl. Conceited, stuck up, I'm into myself. It's all about me. And that is not true. That is not true. That's not true. And, I'm 31 years old, and I've been told that since I was about 12 years old. And when I published this book, Mike, last year, that people really thought that of me. She market herself too much on social media. It's not all about her. I think at this point I'm my biggest cheerleader. It's God and me. I'm my biggest
You have to
cheerleader.
be. Have to be.
And just like you have your podcast, you got to keep pushing this podcast, keep doing your thing, because no telling where God is going to take it. So, I'm
Hmm.
going to keep pushing my book.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep pushing my book. I'm going to keep pushing Broken into Beautiful, because I see myself elevating and growing higher from here. And if people don't have nothing going on, or if they're not walking in their purpose or utilizing their gifts, and they see that you're doing it, Mike, they gonna think that, oh, you're all into yourself. You
Hmm.
think you all that, you think you're better. But what do they have going on? So that is I've been hearing that since I was 12 years old, but it's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna continue to elevate and continue to go higher. I'm gonna stay focused and let God have his way be done in my life.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a question that I ask all my guests. And once I ask it to you,
Hey, Mike.
you back on? You hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, this is a question that I ask all my guests. I want you to take a moment before you answer, and then answer to the most honestly as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what would have to happen in your life, if it hasn't happened already, for you to consider your life a success? What does success mean? What is success for you at this point?
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no.
Well,
Me.
well, successful. See, I'm a spiritual girl, Mike. So successful to me, if God is well pleased with me, and if He's getting the glory out of everything that I'm doing, then to me that's successful. That's successful because I want to make sure that God is in it, is in everything that I'm doing. Because if He's in it, then it's going to be a success. So if I did Broken into Beautiful 5 years, what was that? What, 3 years ago? If I did that
Mhm.
and so many doors and opportunities have opened up for me, the book has gone national, I'm getting sponsorships and donations, my radio show was a success, my resume is constantly growing, then that's success to me because God is in everything that I'm doing. He's getting the glory. My dream is for Broken into Beautiful to go national. That's my dream.
Okay.
That's my dream.
Are you married or do you have children at all?
No. Mm, no.
Wow. Okay. Okay, guys. She's single. She's doesn't have any children. Let's flood her DMs real quick after this. All right. Let's flood it on up. All right. You didn't know that Let's Take a Walk was not only a live podcast but also a matchmaking
Oh, okay.
service. We are what you call diversifying our portfolio. So we are
Okay
adding
now.
the matchmaking portion to our
Okay.
show. So,
That's
so
funny.
that will be something, you can thank me later. Anyway,
Okay.
if I'm an aspiring book writer, if I'm an aspiring radio slash TV host, if I'm aspiring motivational speaker or an aspiring mogul, and I just have a boatload of questions, in need of advice, direction. Um, how do I get in touch with you?
Yeah, feel free to reach out to me. You can go on my website at marvelousmarissa.com. I do respond quickly. I am on Facebook, Marvelous Marissa. I'm on Instagram, IG, Marvelous Marissa on the go. And I have another IG with Broken into Beautiful Live. So, yes, feel free to contact me, ask me questions. I will definitely help you to the best of my ability. I just encourage everyone out there, to that broken little girl, to that broken little boy, somebody who's trying to find their purpose in life. First and foremost, you have to surrender and you need to go to God, just like I did. I cried out to God. I
Mhm.
cried out to God, and He definitely touched people's hearts to help me to get to this point in my life. So stay focused and stay encouraged, and accomplish your dreams. No matter how many doors, so many doors were slammed in my face. People talked about me, got those rejection emails left and right, but I did not let that stop me. God gave me that opportunity, and God is going to test you too to see how bad you really want it. So, if God did it for me, He can do it for you. So feel free to reach out to me at marvelousmarissa.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on IG, I am out there, and I would definitely respond to be able to help those who wants to go higher in their life, who wants to elevate. I'm here to help.
Let me ask you a question. This is a good question. Okay, in the church community, as parents do it a lot. Um, Coaches, anybody who has influence over anybody who has a dream or a vision or a goal. Okay, many of us have um, goals that we aspire to reach, things that we want to do, dreams that we want to accomplish. But, however, there are those who aspire to do things that they are not necessarily gifted to do. Now, what I mean by that is you have that friend who loves music, loves to sing, loves to dance, just loves it, right? And believes that he or she is destined to be the next whoever you think of.
Mm-hmm.
But God bless them, their gifting is not on par with what it takes to make it to a certain level.
Mm.
Now, I understand this is interesting, and I'm asking you because you're in kind of in that position as a personality. And so
Mm.
I'm quite sure that you come across people who say, "Hey, Marissa, I want to do this, I want to do that, whatever, whatever, whatever." And you watch them or you hear them do what they say that they want to do, and you know, and you can see right off that at this present time, they're not really, they really don't have it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I say all that to say, with you being in this industry, where do you draw the line between encouragement and saying, "Look, sis, look, bro, um, this ain't it. If you instead of being a singer, why don't you try to produce or maybe manage artists? I don't know. Like, where do you draw the line? As it, and I'm asking you because you're a professional and you're a personality, and it's kind of like in your job description to assess talent and potential. So
Mm-hmm.
where's that line?
One, you got to be honest with people. You do have to be honest. You can say it in a respectful way. But me, I came across a young lady like that. And I told her, is this something really deep down inside your heart that you
Hmm.
see yourself doing 10, 20, long term for the rest of your life?
Hmm.
And, she was honest. She was like, well, I want to be seen. I want to be on TV. And I told her that it's more than just being on TV. It's more than,
Hmm.
than just being on the radio. It's more than just having a book in Barnes and Nobles. You have to have the heart to do this. Is this something that you really want to do? Be honest with yourself. Like Michael Jackson said, we all got to look in the mirror.
Hmm.
So I said, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this really the gift that God has given you when He created you? Be honest with yourself. Be
Hmm.
honest, because I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're talented in other areas. So you have to be honest with the person. They may hate you then, but they will respect you later.
Yeah.
They will
And
appreciate.
yeah, and I asked that question because as Christians, as people who are traditionally and conditioned to, we're trained to not doubt, not fear, keep
Mm-hmm.
pressing, move mountains. You know what I'm saying? Turn water into wine. We're conditioned as Christians to believe that God can do exceedingly abundantly all that we can ask a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But sometimes it seems
Right.
like there is a contradiction. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked you because it's like, is there is there a line? Does that line actually exist, or are we to say, look, Marissa wants to do this, so fine. You know what? Even though I'm looking at you, and you don't know what you're doing, or what you're doing is not pleasant, or is not appetizing, or not entertaining. It's not it. Do I
Right.
continue to watch you go? You know what I
Right.
mean?
The thing is, God is honest with us. So
Hmm.
we have to also be honest. I love you too much to see you look a fool or to see
Right.
you fail. So you gotta be honest. God
Hmm.
give us all a gift. Everybody can't be on TV. Everybody can't
Right.
write a book. Everybody can't be on the radio. Everybody can't be the next Michael Jordan. Or,
Yeah.
everybody can't. Everybody has their own gifts and their talent. So you have to be honest because God also says, you have to be honest. I love you too much to see you make a fool out of yourself. This ain't for you. You're talented in this area. You're talented in this. You can sell houses. You have the gift of teaching. You have the gift of prophesizing, doing ministry, sitting at the pulpit. There's other gifts. So you have to be honest. You have to be honest because God is honest with us.
Okay.
God is honest and real with us. So you have to be honest. You have to be honest. I love my friends, my family, even my worst enemy. I love them too much to see them make a complete fool out of themselves. So you have to be honest, be open, just be honest. That's because I've done that before. I was honest with people because I would want somebody to be honest and real with me.
Hmm.
It may hurt at that moment, but I will respect you for being honest with me. You're entitled to that.
Okay. Now, hearing you say that, now you gave a very responsible and educated answer as a personality. But I'm gonna play. I'm gonna flip this on you.
Mhm.
Why are you different? Because did people not tell you like what makes you different than me? What makes
Mhm.
you different than me? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do my thing too. Even though I
Mhm.
may not be doing that at the level that you doing it, what make you different? You gonna tell me try something else, do something else? What make you so different? You know what I mean? And that's my question to you. Why are you different? Why are you one of
Well,
those people that made it through?
one, I had to step out on faith. It was faith
Hmm.
that brought me this far. I was
Hmm.
rejected from so many jobs. People put me down. My weight was an issue. The way that I talked was an issue. It was nothing but the grace of God that brought me this far. It was nothing. I knew that this was my gift since I was 12 years old. And
Hmm.
despite the adversity and the challenges that I went through, God told me that this is something that I supposed to be doing. This is
Hmm.
something that He put in my heart. This is my gift. This is something that He gave me. If He didn't give me this gift, I would not have made it this far. You know, I
Hmm.
would not have got the opportunities that God gave me. So, if anything, this is something that I supposed to be doing. Now, I would tell the person, what is your story?
Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah, and like I said, I just really I find that interesting. That's a kind of an interesting dynamic. You have we're just like I said, we've been trained in church to
Hmm.
encourage and support one another and
That's
lift
true.
people up. And we can tell them that they can do anything, and God, if God is in it, then it's possible. Blah blah blah. Not blah blah blah, but you get what I'm saying. But
I get what you're saying. Yes,
um,
that's true. But you gotta be honest. You gotta be real with yourself. You do.
mhm,
You do. Everybody got their own journey. That's why this world is so unique and special because everybody is different. So you gotta find the passion. What's your passion? What makes you get up in the morning? You gotta
mhm.
find that in your heart.
Yes, yes, yes. Have
Hmm.
you? And I just want to let you know that I've asked you all the questions that I had written. Now, this right now is just extra that just kind of came in my mind.
Hmm.
Hey, this is
All right, now he's
just
loving
came up.
he's loving the show.
Yes, sir. Um, these are just coming from just from hearing what you've been saying or whatever. Um, so yeah, like I said, we're conditioned to do and say certain things as Christians, and to encourage one another. But sometimes it's just not it. To say the least. I really appreciate you coming on. I thank you for coming on. I thank you for doing the drop for the intro too. That was awesome.
Oh, no problem.
Um, um, I look forward to interviewing you, sitting down with you again in the very near future.
Yes.
I absolutely have been encouraged by this interview, inspired by this
Thank
interview.
you. Thank
Um,
you.
and I wish nothing but blessings on everything that you got going forward.
Thank
And
you.
again, fellas, she is single. She is in the Atlanta area. So if you're in the Atlanta area, and even if you're not in the Atlanta area, uh, please, holler at my sister. See what she talk. Shoot your shot and see what she talking about. But no, I'm playing y'all, but I'm really not playing. But again, just give people some, contact information if they want to, reach out to you. I know I asked you that earlier, but then I asked you a couple more questions. So just in case,
Yeah.
give them your contact information again.
Yes, feel free to reach out to me. My website is marvelousmarissa.com. Marvelousmarissa.com. You can also order my book on my website if you're interested. The book is also selling in Barnes and Noble's website. It got out of stock yesterday at Walmart. It's on
Hmm.
Amazon. It's in bookstores, libraries. Feel free to contact me, connect with me on Facebook. I'm Marvelous Marissa. You can connect with me on IG, Marvelous Marissa on the Go, or Broken into Beautiful Live. I'm also on Twitter, Future Talk Show. So feel free to reach out to me. I respond quickly. I would love to encourage and, to help others on their journey. But I said this before and I'm going to say it again, Mike. If only you knew, it was nothing but the grace of God that brought me this far. And I'm forever grateful. And my prayer is to continue to elevate and to go higher. And I encourage you all to do that as well. I love your show, Mike. Thank you for reaching out to me. And
No
this was
problem.
really a good interview. This is one of my best interviews. So thank you so much for this.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. And I appreciate it. I coming from you, that absolutely means a whole lot.
Thank
You know,
you.
so I won't take any more of your time because I know you're a very, very busy person. Got some orders to fill and some stock to restock and all that. So I'm gonna let you go, but God bless you and
Okay.
everything that you have going
God
on.
bless
And
you as
again, I
well.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on. And I
Mhm.
wish you nothing but the best.
All right. Thank you for having me. And take
All
care,
right.
everybody.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. Okay, there we go. We had another great interview with an awesome guest, Miss Marvelous Marissa Daniel. She is an awesome interview, first of all. She is an awesome host and radio personality. She does it all. Go to her page, marvelousmarissa.com, and check her out. If you got questions, if you got concerns, if you want to get some advice, or, you may not know which direction to go in your chosen field, and she may have heard something on here that will make you think that she might have some information for you. She's more than willing to share that with you. But as always, I encourage you to follow the vision that God has given you, or whatever higher power that you believe in. You follow the vision that's been placed in your heart to go to the best of your ability. Um, with that being said, I'm gonna get off of here, and I'll see you on Friday. Um, other than that, take care. Let's take a walk.
Hey, y'all. I'm Ebony Capri.
What's up, everybody? This is J.R. Simon.
What's up? My name is Marvelous Marissa.
What's up? This is Antonio Neal, and this is Let's Take a Walk.